going strong, and certainly a lot of similarities in loving what little kids say and how interesting they are and profound they are in offering comfort to us. So the presentation is titled, "Is this the end or the beginning?" And I think that's a question we often ask ourselves when we're faced with making an important decision, losing a job, facing health illnesses and things like that. So it's a question I ask myself all the time. Okay, good, it works. So this is going to be a very personal discussion. Most of you are used to me speaking about senior living, and I love to do that, but this is a little bit different today. So we kind of went over the biography already, so I'll sort of skip through this. My name, and I am the proud director of marketing at Morningstar Village, an assisted living facility in Rockford, and I've been there for over 6 years, and I'm proud to call them my employer, and they're my family, and many of them are here today, so thank you guys for coming. You guys are wondering why there's a kid here? Because she's mine. She's right here, and she wanted to come here. Oh, she wanted to come hear Mommy speak, plus my entire family's here, so there was really no one to watch her. And Ryan, I will not call you out and make you stand up, but I am the proud wife of Ryan. I'm also a daughter. My parents are here. My sisters are here. My nieces are not here, but I'm proud to be an aunt. And a granddaughter, and I'm also a woman. So I know there's many men here today, so it was kind of nice to have you guys join us today. So my goal is to be able to share my journey with you, to make you laugh, because I love to do that. Tell you why seafood is bad, which makes no sense to you now, but I swear it will in a couple of slides. Evoke some thoughts, that's always good so early in the morning, and to provide some information, and lastly, bond. We definitely are women, and that's what we like to do, so you guys are in for a special treat about what women really do. We don't have pillow fights like many of you think when we're alone. So as you all know, again, we've gone over who I am, but there's something that I left out, and that is I'm also a cancer survivor. It's weird when I put down cancer survivor. I had a discussion with a friend of mine who's also a cancer survivor. My original comment here was to say I'm a cancer fighter, I'm a cancer patient. And that individual said to me, no, you're not. The minute you're diagnosed with cancer, you become a survivor. And so I agreed 100% and changed what I put there because I am surviving every single day. So let's just get this out of the way. The questions that I get most often in regards to my diagnosis are, how did I know? How did I find out? What were the symptoms? I have to say, deep down inside, I knew something was wrong. It's kind of a gut feeling. Multiple times I said to my husband, I think something's wrong. Is there some test they can do to see if you have cancer? And he would laugh it off and say, you don't have cancer, you're fine. I felt very, very run down for months on end, and just didn't have the energy I normally did, and again, that gut feeling of knowing something was wrong. I did meet with my primary care physician, went in, let her know I wasn't feeling well. We were hoping it was something like a thyroid disorder, mono, stress, something like that. We did some routine lab work and quickly identified we definitely had an issue. I was then, all of a sudden, referred to the Swedish American Regional Cancer Center here in Rockford. Thankfully, I have access to great care there. Felt shocking to all of a sudden be told that you're going to be seeing an oncologist for a potential cancer diagnosis. And on New Year's Eve, just over 1 year ago, I was diagnosed with chronic myelogenous leukemia. So when Jen was speaking earlier about losing a parent to leukemia and having my child here, certainly that sunk in. I wasn't emotional until that moment. It's amazing when families go through this, how difficult, how difficult that can be. It doesn't matter if you're a young mother or if the prognosis is good. It's definitely difficult. So I had already looked up on the internet before I went to the doctor and entered my labs, and I was talking to my coworker Jane, who's here today, and I said, these labs don't look so good. I said, it looks like I have leukemia. I'm like, I think I might have leukemia. And we laughed, and I found this little photo here on Facebook and posted it shortly thereafter to kind of say we've all done that. You know, you go to the doctor and you're like, oh, this lab value is a little high, or, you know, you have bruising or something like that, and you plug in all the, you know, symptoms on Google and find out you have 3 weeks to live. Well, that's not the case. I certainly, on New Year's Eve, I mean, some people are saying to me many times, isn't that sad and isn't that scary? What a terrible way to start the year. And I just said it was different the year before. You know, I remember when a New Year's Eve was spent with, sorry, Ryan, to say this, but kissing a boy before I met my husband, and always making sure you had a date, and going out with your girlfriends and wearing a sparkly top. And this is how I spent New Year's Eve in 2013, full of all my lovely labs and the exam room I was in when I was told I had cancer. This is a picture that I took, literally moments. I think my oncologist, who I love dearly, thought, what is this girl doing taking all these pictures? And here she's taking a selfie, and she was just told that she had cancer. And I think for me it was a moment that I really did not want to forget. I know that sounds crazy, but you know, when you're told that you have cancer, a million things run through your head. It's like a moment that seems to pass so quickly on an average day, but right after hearing those words, these are all things that flooded my head almost instantaneously. It's amazing how it really does consume your thoughts. All of a sudden, all I wanted to do was go and be by my family. My dad was home with my daughter, and I came home, and she said, it's New Year's Eve, Mom. And I said, yeah. And here I am trying to keep a good, straight face together. She says, let's do manicures. I said, okay, that sounds good. Let's cuddle and watch a movie. And it amazes me in that instant how profound kids can be, like Jen said, but also how clueless they can be. You know, I think she sensed something was going on because it was out of her normal routine, but all she wanted to do was hang out with Mom and give her a manicure, and she did a fantastic job, and it was a perfect way to spend a New Year's. This is another picture. This is my dad. He was home, as I mentioned, with my daughter, and I had to sit down and tell him, this is where it gets emotional. I had to tell him that I indeed have cancer. You know, that's something a parent never, ever wants to hear about their child. It's not supposed to be that way. He had his own battle, you know, 7 years prior with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I remember thinking, I was such a hot mess when he was sick, and realized how strong he was. And the roles really reversed. All of a sudden I found